3, 2, 1, youtube.com, Jamestown, California. This is an audio cast and it's Saturday. I'm going to talk about this idea of forcing kids to be vaccinated before the teachers come back to work. And I did something about it last week. Now, this idea and concept has been replicated. First, the University of Rutgers has pretty much blackmailed their students to where they have to be vaccinated or they can't go to class. This idea is starting to be replicated on all the levels. Whether you're in a workplace or an education place, they are finding ways to blackmail the public to have to get vaccinated, while the information that they provided during the pandemic was horrendous. Number one, Brian Williams and MSNBC. I have a message for you guys. This week, I was tuning into your broadcasts and I was only able to watch your segments for minutes at a time because you are not a news organization. I don't know what you are, but the quality of reports that you provided was absolutely ridiculous. And everyone on that network should be ashamed of themselves with the way they presented the news during the 2020 campaign. They like to talk about that the election was fair and there was no cheating, and that people that think that the election wasn't fair are insurrectionists. I got a message for you. The Project Veritas proved that CNN was coercing the media with those numbers, and that in itself influenced the election by those amounts of millions of votes, and that was the difference maker, number one. Number two, the voters. The voters that did vote for Joe Biden, knowing that this is how the economy was going to turn out. I'm just not sold that many people, knowing that the economy was going to completely go in reverse, voted for this policy. Because an intelligent person, a person that has a business, would not be voting for Joe Biden in any way, shape, or form because of the ways he has increased gas and has regulated and has single-handedly, I know the economy shows signs of recovery, but that's all from last year, and all because people want to come back to work. The economy is in a slave labor economy. The things that I have pointed out have not been corrected, number one. The things that I've pointed out for the national emergency have not been corrected, number two. I was not given a PPE packet in the mail, but I was given a ballot in the mail. Why, if you're giving me a ballot in the mail and you want me to vote for you, you can't send me the same PPE kit with a temperature check so I could temperature check myself every day before I go out. The way the government has mismanaged the pandemic is all lies. And because they have lied to us and have spent $6 trillion and have not given me a PPE kit in the mail, anything and everything they say, I just don't believe. I have what I'm going to call a no confidence vote for the President of the United States. No confidence vote means I have no confidence in him or the people that are pulling his strings because they have continuously lied. How embarrassing yesterday. The President of the United States talked to the Japanese Prime Minister and said, one of your boys won the Masters. I mean, how embarrassing is that? When he says we have a national embarrassment on the shootings that are happening in the country. I know you guys are in charge of the law and in charge of the information, but all those places that you showed the mass shootings, there is one common denominator that's causing these people to flip out, and you are not addressing it in any of the cities. What is it? I got to write a book about it for you to start paying attention to how come this is happening? I know why this is happening, and I think you guys know why it's happening. It's because we're being flooded with speed, fentanyl, heroin, and coke on that border down there that's all of a sudden now open. No confidence vote for the President of the United States. The importing new cases of COVID from the Central American countries while Brazil is having a brand new pandemic is a ground of impeachment. Sir, you did not close the border this week and you did not put a stance on your policy. You are not competent for this job. Not you or the vice president. You are the national embarrassment. The Democratic Party. Our government has 3 branches of government and they're supposed to be all equal branches of government. Not one takes over the other so the other could take over the other. That's what you're doing. We have a problem here. While our counterparts and CNBC and Shepard Smith, your show yesterday was absolutely the most pathetic form of news broadcast and journalism that I've ever seen you do. And if you like drinking the Kool-Aid for CNBC, go ahead, be my guest, because you're not going to get many viewers from me. You got a viewer from me yesterday out of a rerun because I had already seen the rerun on the other network. Horrible. The fact that there's no journalism in none of these channels on MSNBC or CNN. It's just so pathetic and horrible. It's bad. It's so bad that they should be removed off the cable networks. What Project Veritas proved this week was there was election interference by the way the media lied on those airwaves. Like Adam Schiff and Jerry Nadler keep lying. Jerry Nadler, you went up on the podium again and lied about the courts and why you think that there's to save our democracy, the book that I wrote that you guys keep plagiarizing. You keep plagiarizing our democracy and you put it like it's your work. You guys have ruined the democracy. 4 judges means you want to tilt the balance of power. You blame the Trump administration for the people that he put in as judges when it was the former administration that caused the problem in the first place. Lies. $6 trillion and I don't got a PPE kit in the mail while I got a ballot? You guys got to be kidding me. You're going to force me do a vaccine when I already know that people with allergies should not be taking the vaccine? People that have already gotten it don't need to take the vaccine? Or people that have the T cells are immune to not needing to take the vaccine? All you have to do is give us a temperature check in the mail, a COVID test in the mail, and we could do this all by ourselves, and we don't need your freaking help. Instead, you guys have completely went around the problem, lied directly, and then you're saying, no, you got to do this. No. $6 trillion, no PPE kit in the mail. I don't have to take the vaccine unless my doctor tells me that I should take the vaccine. You're not going to force a person and then blame him because of his political party, blackmailing kids. It's ridiculous. This whole idea, you guys have lied top to bottom. When you sit there and accuse people of being conspiracy theorists, when all those conspiracy theories were starting to float around early in the pandemic, a lot of them ended up coming up true because of the way you guys, the media, have mismanaged the crisis. You have 4 semesters and not one person in the media have put a report together on how kids can go back to school. Not one person, not one solution, not one idea. You're not a broadcast network. No confidence vote for the President of the United States. The way he's managed the southern border is a ground of impeachment. Totally. If they want to continue doing what they're doing in a dishonest fashion, catch them on their next lie and then throw the grounds of impeachment on the President of the United States and see how the Vice President handles the crisis, because we know how she handles the border crisis while they're importing cases, putting people on buses without being tested, and they're telling people that we need to be still shut down, still wearing masks after taking the vaccine. Something's wrong. Either the vaccine doesn't work, or we don't need to wear masks in the first place, or the cases that you're imported from Central America just aren't as important to you. You guys have ruined the job market. You knew you were going to do this. You guys definitely have lied. And I'm just calling you guys out on those networks. You guys, Brian Williams yesterday, you ought to be ashamed of yourself with all the experience that you have as a broadcaster to put up that crap that you put up last night. You just straight up lie to people and you blame people for whatever they are or whatever they want to do. You guys have wrecked our history. You guys have wrecked our intelligence. You have wrecked our education. You have no relevance in the news media world anymore. You are just a mouthpiece. Cuomo, Lemon, CNN. You are just a mouthpiece. You are shit when it comes to news. No one wants to or will tune in to your broadcast because of the amount of dishonesty your broadcast networks have done. And Project Veritas proved there was election interference, that our media was not 50-50 on the coverage with the candidates, and were acting in prejudice during the 2020 election. There's proof, and that proof is just enough to have made the difference, in my opinion. And I want to end this take real quick with California. And if Californians knew that this is how the economy was going to turn out if Joe Biden was going to win, in my opinion, California might have voted red, and Donald Trump might have won California. And this is why I'm going to do this report here at the end. Arizona closed their ballots during the election, but California on the first day already announced that they were blue before the end of the day. Now, what's the difference between California during the day before all the votes are counted saying we're blue, than Arizona during the election at 78% saying that they're blue? There's something wrong here. If people know that business was going to go down and tumble like this, those voters were all going to vote red. There's no way that those voters were going to vote blue knowing that their business was going to tumble if they did vote blue. So I think the election was a lot closer than the numbers gave. And with those states not having IDs, there's 36 states out of 50 that have IDs. That means 14 states did not have IDs. That means the election was not legitimate. If 50 states don't have IDs, there's 14 states that screwed up those ballots. And that was the difference maker. There's no way that Joe Biden in the basement got that many votes unless the two-party system itself is a failure. And I'm going to leave the take right there. The two-party system in itself is a failure. And it's very important that we start putting the independent in the mix. The independent is going to be the only thing that saves our democracy. There is no democracy. This is a forced fascist country. If you don't get vaccinated, they're coming after you. If you don't vote for them, they're coming after you. Pretty soon, everyone's going to be blue. And if you don't vote, they're coming after you. So the whole purpose of voting is definitely, there's a problem with it. If we don't solve the integrity of voting itself, then our democracy is gone. There's no point of voting because what they're going to do is everything's going to be blue. And if you don't want to vote that semester or that round, they're going to come after you. They're saying, well, why aren't you voting for me? I'm not voting for you because I don't have a selection. You're the only one on the ballot. And that's what they're trying to do. That's what they've done. Hideous. Brian Williams, I'll accept your resignation on Monday. Lester Holt, please resign. Your news group is absolutely pathetic. I was tuning into you guys during the week and you're lying to us so much. You're creating the prejudice. You're acting in prejudice. You need to stop all of this. You need to stop this anti-message of what you're trying to promote because it's all incorrect. You're lying. The shootings, the hate is caused by you. You're the one hating. You're the ones doing the attacks on those people. So you can't blame other people. You're the ones causing it. Top to bottom. You can't blame the former president anymore because you're the ones fueling. You're the ones fueling all of this. We are in a civil crisis right now. The media needs to start reporting on news and the truth and have groups within the media come up with solutions and editorials to start solving problems. Otherwise, they are obsolete. Brian Williams, you are obsolete. It doesn't take a man with a Padres hat to tell you that you are obsolete. Brian Williams, you're obsolete. I'll accept your resignation effective immediately. A no confidence vote for the President of the United States, Joe Biden.